Hello, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In the last one I showed you how you can actually progress your atlas really fast and how to get to these T15 and 60 maps very early on. And how you can even make a bunch of chaos by selling all the extra map drops that you get to other players. If you're interested in that, check out the link in the description. But today I'm going to talk about a more beginner-friendly strategy, because speccing into a very specific keystone and having a really specific atlas strategy just isn't really something I'd recommend for a beginner, for a new player who has never reached the end game of Path of Exile, or maybe has reached it but isn't really sure how to progress further. So let's jump right into the first points that I would allocate. I suggest you to use your first skill points to spec into strongboxes as well as essences. Not only are you already familiar with strongboxes and essences since Act 1, they're fairly simple, right? You click on them, you kill stuff and you get loot. There's not much to explain. Strongboxes are also of course great because they add extra monsters to your map, and extra monsters always means more loot, more maps, and just really good. There's no downside. Essences are also really awesome because especially in a league start scenario you can use them to craft early gear. If the economy is still evolving, right, you do not have any chaos whatsoever, but you found a high item level base, for example, just throw an essence on it and hope that you will get modifiers, and then you can use that item for quite a while. Next we are going to path upwards towards the shrine wheel here. Now you already know shrines, right? You've encountered them in Act 1 as well, I believe. They give you buff. Either it's like a buff that increases your damage or that improves your defense. And yeah, they're just really helpful. They help you to complete the maps and to not struggle. Next we are going to path to the right and select the Shaping the Mountains wheel here. In total this wheel gives us a 25% chance for maps that we will drop to be 1 tier higher. So a tier 2 map is then going to be a tier 3 map. We also get that 10% chance when we complete a map to get a random map crafting option for free. Now what is a map crafting option? If you click in your hideout on your map device, you can see a selection of different map crafting options. For example, in my case, I'm not really sure because I'm not in game, but I believe it's something like Ritual and Blight, whatever, Domination, Strongboxes, Ambushes, and it costs like 2 or 3 chaos, or even more depending on what which option you choose, and it guarantees that you will have that content in your map. Now if you get some for free, in the beginning I'd say just use them right away. If you have a map, just use them on that map, try out different content, see what content you enjoy doing and which one you want to stay away from. Following that we're going to path upwards and take the adjacent map drop chance node here, and then we will go to the left and grab the Shaping the Skies wheel, which is basically kind of the same. It also gives us a 25% chance, bringing us to a total of 50% chance for map to be 1 tier higher, as well as an additional 3% chance that we get a free map crafting option. Next I suggest you to spec that wheel on the left as well as the one node in the middle, the Commissioned Officer, which then grants us 1 additional Kirac mission each day. Why is this so great? What are Kirac missions? This is especially great if you don't play that much, right? If it takes you quite a few days to progress, this node really starts paying off because every day you get 1 additional Kirac mission. Well, Kirac missions, if you click on your map device and at the bottom where you normally insert the map, you can see on the right a small wheel, and usually there's a number in white and yellow and in red, and that is the amount of Kirac missions that you have for that specific tier. Now the way you can make use of these missions is by using scouting reports, and as you can see this node here gives us 60% increased atlas, 60% increased chance to find atlas scouting reports. And why are these so great? Why is this all so good? Well, it is so good because Atlas scouting reports usually offer you maps that you have not completed yet. So it makes it really easy to complete the Atlas, because very often if you have trouble getting certain maps and you don't want to buy them from other players via trade, you can use scouting reports, and there's a high chance that Kirac will offer them to you. Following that we will select the 3 higher map tier chance on the top as well, which now brings us to a 65% chance that map drops will be 1 tier higher. Next we will go to the right and upwards and select the whole shrine wheel here. Now if you don't know what these nodes do, the small ones and the big one on the right here, they increase the effect of the shrine buffs on us by 50%, and every time you click on a shrine you get a second effect. So it is basically as if you would have clicked on 2 shrines if you click on 1, and these effects are just, it's incredible. And in combination with the smaller nodes down here, which gives us increased duration of the shrine effect, you probably can clear the whole map while under the influence of shrine buffs. And of course, shrines are not limited to 1 shrine per map. You can have, especially if you use the map crafting option Domination, which I don't suggest you to use in the beginning as it costs chaos, but you can have like 2 or 3 shrines or more on your map, which is just incredible. So you're going to be really, really powerful. The second node adds monsters, basically, which is great. More monsters means more loot. So yeah, nothing wrong here. I then suggest you to complete the quantity wheel. I've talked about this in the other video as well, but having increased item quantity, especially early on, is really, really beneficial, especially if you complete a lot of maps. When you have all these nodes back, you're really gonna see a difference if you would have not selected these nodes in comparison to the time that you have. Now we also want to grab these in the middle. As we are already specced into essences, it just makes sense to use the essence nodes here as well to get into the middle. Of course we are going to select amplified energies as well. Basically, it causes essences that we find on our maps to be 1 tier higher, and that's basically the starting foundation, the basis that I'm going to show you. And as you can see, we have now 65 out of 132 points allocated. From this point on, I highly suggest you to start speccing into specific content that you like and to block content that you do not like. And the way that we do that is that we go all the way down here and we have these nodes down here, and each node represents a specific type of content. Like for example, let's say that I really want to do Blight and Expedition. What I would do then is that I would block every type of content that is not Blight or Expedition. So we have Heist, we have Metamorph, Delirium and Ritual, and of course I'm gonna leave Blight open because I wanna see Blight in my maps. On the other side we have Breach, we have Abyss, we have Expedition, which of course I'm not gonna select, we have Harvest and we have Legion. Now every different type of mechanic is blocked except Expedition and Blight, which is really, really nice. Something I also recommend you to take is Stream of Consciousness. Now if you're not familiar with using scarabs or map fragments, don't stress out, I would just sell them for now, but select Stream of Consciousness as this will increase the base chance that you will get Expedition or Blight by 50%. So really, really awesome node. After that, I suggest you to start speccing into specific content. For example, if I want to do Blight primarily and Expedition on the side, I can spec into these nodes here, which are Blight related, these ones here, then we have these ones as well as these. These would be all the possible Blight nodes you could take, but again, depending on what mechanic you want to focus on, you would have to look up what specific options and where that, skills, etc., passive points you can select and where you would find them on the Atlas passive tree. That was pretty much all you need to know as a beginner, and I hope I was able to provide you, some basic framework to enable you to progress your Atlas. And again, if you notice that content is too hard, you keep dying, for example, in T10 red maps or T11 red maps, what do I do? Well, maybe step back a bit. You can of course not use an Orb of Alchemy and Orb of Binding on each red map, and maybe you should go back to using T6 yellow maps, for example. Always adjust the content you do depending on your gear level. If you have the feeling that you're running into a brick wall, that's absolutely fine, especially as a beginner. I would not mind if I die whatsoever. Then just make sure, okay, I'm probably gonna lower the difficulty a bit. I'm gonna run lower tier maps just to make sure. And one last thing I want to go over in terms of essences. If you want to spec into essences, we have of course essence nodes over here, and we have also essence nodes over here. These previously were around here somewhere, but they were moved more to the side. Now, if you've seen these crazy essence monsters, it's usually because people have this node allocated. Imprisoned monsters in your maps have 50% chance to have 3 additional essences. Usually this is what makes essences so crazy tanky. But again, if you want to farm essences and you already progressed your Atlas quite a bit, you can just farm them in white maps. For essences, it doesn't make a difference if you farm them in T16 maps or if you farm them in T5 maps, for example. The drops are always going to be the same. And that's pretty much it, all you need to know as a beginner to get started in your Path of Exile endgame journey. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you like it, and if you wanna see more of me, I'm gonna stream my league start on Friday this week, starting with the league start of Path of Exile 3.22, Trial of the Ancestors of course, and I will be playing a Templar. If you wanna check that out, make sure to check me out on Twitch at /sindwirlustig on Twitch. Thank you so much for watching and yeah, have a great day guys. Bye!